Hey guys, this is Thanatos and this is my wife Nikki.
Hey guys!
And today we are making a free-to-play tier list for Eternal Evolution, of course. Now, I have to say before we begin, this is not the official tier list of Eternal Evolution. This is something like more of fan-made tier list, okay? This is from our experience in the game, how we started and with which champions we decided to play and use. So, enjoy, let's begin, right?
Let's begin.
So guys, we will start from tier D and slowly we will progress through C, B, A and finally S. So let's begin with the first champion here.
So first champion we have Omar. Omar is an energy champion from the Terran faction.
So, what does this champion do? Nothing. He just deals some AoE damage and that's all. He is supposed to be a kinda protection champion for the energy heroes, but he fails at it with the best that he can. So, Omar is the first champion on the tier list. Let's go on the next one.
So next we have a champion from the Atlas faction. He is called Quid and he's a tank.
So, what can I say about this champion? His name says it all. If you are playing with this champion as your main tank, then just quit. So, what he can do? He can jump at some time in the game and he can stun the champion that he will land on. Now, his damage is based on his defense, but after that, okay, he can provide himself just a small shield, but that's all. So, that was the second champion of the D tier list. Let's go on the next one.
Next we have Xander. He is a hunter champion also from the Atlas faction.
So, about Xander, more or less the best thing about him is his looks. He looks insanely cool. I really love the champion and his artwork, but after that, he is supposed to gain attack speed as he is attacking, so he's stacking some attack speed, and after he reaches 100 attack speed, he will gain a 5% damage boost based on the level of the skill. He could be used in the Dessa caves, but I really don't find another use for this champion, and that's why he is down at the tier list. Let's go on the next one now.
Murfairo. Murfairo is an energy champion also from Atlas faction.
So about this champion, the only thing that he does is he attacks the enemy targets with some frost attacks and he increases his own attack based on a percentage according to a level of his spell. Now this stacks 5 times and it's still underwhelming as a result of his damage. So basically I don't think that there is any use for this champion.
So next we have an Atlas support champion and he is called Poluno.
So about this champion, the only thing that he does is he fires some beams on the enemy targets. If a target is hit by 2 laser beams, he will have his damage applied by minus 30%, so he will do less damage, and that's why he's called a control champion in the end. And also he will apply a crystal shard in one of your team members. He will priority one of your frontliners with the highest defense, of course, and as they hit with their hits, he will apply some additional damage boost. And of course it's not enough, and that's why he is on the D tier list again. So let's go on the next champion now.
Hypnos. Hypnos is also a support champion from Atlas faction.
So, what does Hypnos do? He suppresses an enemy for 3 seconds with his ultimate, and with his common ability called Arcane Concentration, he will gather the enemies that are near him and he will stun them for 3 seconds. Other than that, he will add some damage on the equation, but it's just not enough. And that's why he is stuck on this tier 2. So, let's go on the next.
We have Kane. Kane is an energy champion from Terran faction.
So, I don't know why this game has so many energy champions that don't really do anything special. He only does some AoE damage, and again, that's underwhelming. I don't have to say anything else for this champion. He does stack some attack on himself, but it's just not enough. Anyway, do not focus on this champion and do not focus on any champion out of the D tier list for sure. Okay guys, let's go on the next one now.
So the last hero of this section in this tier list is Ornn. Ornn is another energy champion from Terran faction. What he does is nothing special. He has some AoE damage and increases his own attack speed for 8 seconds, but still is underwhelming.
So guys, that was the last champion from the D section, of course. Now, I have to remind you guys, this is not the official tier list of Eternal Evolution. This is just fan-made from me and my wife, of course, so don't take it too seriously. We are just having some fun and we are just showing you the game on our perspective, of course. Let's continue with the C tier list now.
Let's go. Our first hero from the C section now is Old John. Old John is a hunter from the Terran faction.
So, what does Old John do? On his ultimate, he has 3 shots, will have a knockback effect. Not too shabby, but it is what it is. So, he also has a slow, which he applies on the enemies via a smoke bomb that he has. So, when Old John is about to get hit with a fatal injury, instead he will recover his HP based on the skill level, of course, of his spell, and he immediately moves next to an ally on the back row while he's doing that. Now, that's a bit of an interesting mechanic, but still his damage is underwhelming and you cannot find many uses for him except Desa Caves, of course, in which again, on the Desa Caves, you will have better champions to use.
Next is Langel. Langel is a tank hero from the Wenfir faction. I personally used him at the beginning.
So guys, I used him at the beginning too because I really liked his animation and the presentation of this champion. I felt like this was an amazing artwork done from the Eternal Evolution team. So kudos for that. So, what does Langel do? So with his ultimate he will gain a percentage of defense according to the spell level, of course. Then he will unleash a shockwave on an area of effect in which the enemies inside that area will be pulled and will be stunned. And it will apply some damage, of course, based on defense again. So the other things that he does, he will stun again the enemy for 1 second and of course he will raise his defense again. So this makes him a good tank. Basically not the best that you can use as a free to play, but we both used him in the beginning and he got the job done. So let's go on the next one now.
Next on the list is Arthas, a Vanguard champion from the Atlas faction. This champion is the first elite that the game gives us for free.
So guys, I know that this will sound wrong, but I'm still using Arthas. In my Vanguard team, I have Heimdall, I have Leo, and I have Arthas. For some kind of reason, I don't know, when I started the game, he was the first champion that they gave to us, and I like the mysterious ninja space looking guy, so I'm still using him. I know that I'm losing something from that, but he is a cool champion to have. Now, his damage comes based from defense, and that's what confused me in the beginning of the game, because I was using him as an HP champion, because I thought that he is like the other Vanguard champions, but he is not. So what Arthas does, he just lowers the damage reduction of the enemy, single target of course, and he gains some attack speed. So he doesn't do anything shabby, he's just there to be there. I don't know why. He could use a buff, I believe, because I really like this champion. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's go on the next one now.
Last hero of this section is Karmo. I believe this is the second free champion that the game gives us.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, he is an energy champion from the Wenfir faction.
Basically, this champion just applies some AoE damage. It's strong for the beginning, I can't lie. Every player should use him in the beginning of the game, but later on he gets underwhelming and you have to replace him. Now he applies a buff on attack percentage again on him, but again this is not enough for later in the game. Now good for early game, bad for mid game, total disaster for the late game. Let's go on the B tier list now.
So the first hero from the B section is a hunter from Terran faction and it's called Bot Mark II.
So guys, this is the first amazing champion that we are talking about. Bot Mark II is a very situational champion, but he shines mostly in the Desa Caves and then in Molten Abyss. This is a champion that applies many multiple hits, so he is very good when you need to break the enemy shield via hits, of course. It's a very valuable hunter that he is worth evolving to the max. Now, what does he do? He has multiple shots, he raises his critical rate, and he decreases the defense on the enemy single target. So he is very, very important when you are facing bosses. Now, that's all for Botmark. Personally, we believe that he deserves to be in the top spot of the B section on this tier list. Let's go on the next one.
Next we have Bailey Hudson. He's an SSS champion from the Terran faction and he's an assassin.
So guys, this is the first Triple S champion that we are showing you on this tier list. The reason why we have him as a free-to-play unit on the free-to-play tier list is because we get him via the King's Gift after we defeat a specific level on the Crimson Abyss. So technically he counts as a free-to-play champion. You just have to spend some diamonds to get him. Diamonds come very free on this game, so you will not have any problems obtaining him. So let's talk about Bailey Hudson. What does he do? He best shines when he has to fight a single enemy, because then he will be able to stack critical damage, critical rate and attack. If he has to face multiple enemies, he will focus on the enemy with the lowest HP and then he will lose all the stacks of critical rate and critical damage. So personally for me, I believe that Bailey Hudson is best used on a single target boss. That's all for him. Let's go on the next one now. So the next hero on this tier list couldn't be anyone else other than Liran. He is a support hero from the Wenfir faction, of course, so
he's an amazing champion. For the beginning, has AoE heal, increased defense for the front row heroes, and a melee stun for the enemy.
So guys, I'm still using him. I know that I shouldn't. This champion shines very much in the beginning of the game and he is viable up to mid game. I don't really think that you can find any use for him in the end game, guys, to be honest. I think that you will have any other Triple S champion that can replace him, of course. So guys, you can actually focus on him up to mid game. He will help you, he will get you there. Let's go on the next.
Oisa is one of the first champions that the game gives you for free. She's tank and she's from the Terran faction.
So guys, she can AoE stun, she can have a shield, she raises her defense. This hero is a very good hero to have on the beginning of the game. I believe that she is very valuable in the mid game too. And maybe if you're not lucky enough to have many copies of another tank from a further way on this tier list, you can use her. I have seen some people using her in PvP too, in PvE. She is very good and she will get the job done, that's for sure. So the next hero on this tier list is Muka. He is a summoner and he is from the Wenfir faction.
What this champion does is he charges on an enemy, he increases his movement speed and his attack speed, and he summons a wolf which inherits his stats based on the percentage of the skill level.
So guys, also he gains HP based on the attack that he has. He gains 12 HP for every one attack that he has. That makes him a bit tanky, especially for the early game. In the mid game he is so and so, in the late game you can't use him. I don't believe that you can. Now I think that it's possible that you can use him on the Terra Dome on the higher levels, but I'm not really sure about that.
Next is Na Feng. He's a vanguard hero from the Wenfir faction.
So guys, he can charge, he can protect, and he increases defense, attack and damage reduction. Basically, he is a vanguard hero which is a support and a protector. He is a very important hero to have if you are playing a vanguard team. I missed out on him on the early game because I used Arthas. I didn't understand just how valuable he is. Trust me guys, if you are playing a vanguard team, he will help your team 100%. So I believe that you should upgrade him as much as you can. He is a valuable asset for your account and he will help you 100%. Let's go next.
So next we have Azena. She has my favorite presentation of a hero in this game. I love her. She's a Triple S Hunter champion from the Terran faction.
So guys, basically what she does is she gains attack from herself and she boosts her own attack speed. That's all. It's pretty underwhelming for a Triple S champion, to be honest. She doesn't even have a very good attack numbers, but it is what it is. She's given to us for free, so we can't complain, right guys? She is better than most of the non-Triple S champions, but it is what it is. She is given to us for free, of course, we can't complain about that. She might not be the best free-to-play hunter to use, but she is up there on the B tier. So guys, the next hero is Falvia. She is an energy hero from the Terran faction, and she is given to us for free again in the beginning of the game.
So what she's doing is she's increasing her critical rate, and she has an AoE damage, which is quite impressive for a non-SSS hero.
I agree. I have even seen her in a PvP rank arena, and I can say that she packs a punch. She's not that crazy of an energy hero, of course, but for a non-Triple S hero, she is one of the best energy champions that you can have in the game.
Rakana is an assassin hero from the Wenfir faction.
So guys, she teleports, she increases her own defense, which make her a bit tanky, so she can be kinda your tank in a full assassin team, but of course you can't depend on her. So, she has good damage, she increases her own attack, she increases her own defense, and she has the teleportation. Also, she increases her damage based on how much HP the enemy has lost. She is the best solution as a free-to-play hero from the assassin group. So let's go to the next one now. So the next champion on the tier list is Sorieta. She is an energy champion and she is from the Atlas faction.
So this champion has a stun, has a very decent AoE damage, she has a knockback and a cooldown reduction effect on her ultimate.
And also don't forget that she is a dragon, right? She has a very cool artwork. We really love the dragons in this game.
Absolutely.
So let's go on the next. The next hero on this tier list is Nagrana. He is an energy hero from the Atlas faction. What he basically does is just AoE damage, and it's damage that clicks over seconds. He is basically the standard damage per second hero that you can get. Nothing too shabby. Also his damage is very underwhelming, but it is what it is, guys. You have many champions to choose for the energy group, of course. So let's go next.
Hercules. He is a tank and he is from Terran faction.
So guys, Hercules is a very impressive free-to-play tank. Of course, if you have Triple S tank characters, they overpower him. But if you don't, he is a very good champion to have.
I used to have him.
I used him in the beginning too, but I'm a bit of a whale, so I replaced him very early in the game. But if you are a free-to-play player, he will protect one hero on your team. He will also protect him from any debuffs. He has many shields, he has increased defense, and he has some solid damage. So guys, Hercules is a very nice solution in your tank problems, right?
I absolutely agree.
Okay, let's go next.
So we have Randall, an assassin hero from Terran faction.
So guys, he has teleport, he has increased attack and increased damage. Basically, he is a nice solution again on your free-to-play assassin team. Rakana is, of course, better than him overall on the damage numbers and what she brings in the temple, of course, but they are two different champions of the same group. I suggest that you build Randall too, because he is a very good assassin to have. So, after all, I believe that assassins are the fewer heroes on the game,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I agree. I only have two, like Rakana and him, so...
So guys, build him, he will help you out.
Next is Kalaja. He's a summoner from Terran faction.
So guys, to be honest, he is very underwhelming. I did the mistake in building him, and that's why I have added him on the last spot on the B tier here. So, he has underwhelming damage. He doesn't bring anything to the team. Basically, he increases his own critical rate, he increases his own attack percent, but again, it's underwhelming. It's just not there. So guys, I suggest that you will build him only for the early game and don't focus him for either mid or late game at all. And with that, B tier is done. Let's go further up to the more juicy heroes of the game. So guys, welcome on the A section of this tier list. Now, first we have Sorvale here. She is a summoner from the Wenfir faction. Now, the reason that we have another Triple S champion on a free-to-play tier list is because we can get her again via the King's Gift for diamonds. So basically, she is free-to-play. Come on guys, she is. So, What do you have to say for this champion?
Oh, I love this champion. I really want it, but I cannot have it yet.
I have it.
Of course, a whale. So this champion imprisons enemies, AoE heals, summons deers, and avoids enemies.
Basically, because I have her, she doesn't, so I should be explaining what she does, to be honest. She is a very, very decent solution if you want to go all 5 summoner team and need a healer. She will cover that spot immediately, but you need to have 2-3 copies so that she get a bit stronger so that she can survive the enemy hits. Now let's go on the next one.
Let's go. Oak. Oak is a tank hero from the Atlas faction.
So guys, he has double knockdown, he has a stun, he has a shield, he has a damage reduction, he increases his HP periodically in the fight. What can I say? He's one of my favorite non-triple S heroes to have as a tank, of course. He is an impressive champion and he really shines in PvP more than PvE. So if you have him, he's a very good solution for the PvP team as a tank. So the next hero on this tier list is Bor. He is a tank and he is from the Wenfir faction.
So he has damage reduction, shield, stun, and decreased defense.
Again, guys, this tank is absolutely valuable for a free-to-play team, of course, and he shines the most on the PvP part of this game. So if you have him, don't hesitate to build him, don't hesitate to evolve him, he will pay out.
Next we have Sunway. He is a summoner hero from the Wenfir faction. He's one of my favorite champions and I have him on my main team.
True, guys, I have seen her summoner team, he is the protagonist in there. So, what does he do? He summons another panda which can heal itself and it can heal Sunway. He can regenerate his energy, he increases his attack and also he has a boost on his damage. To be honest, guys, I believe that Sunway is the best free-to-play summoner unit on this game, hands down. I still use him on some of my summoners team. As I already told you, I have spent a lot on this game, so it's hard for me to still use him, but sometimes he is still viable, and that says a lot for this champion. What do you say?
Absolutely. I'm free to play in this game and I use him mainly on my team. I prefer to take another champion out than him.
So guys, that was for Sunway. Let's go on the next.
Next we have a triple S hero which is Square and Hattie. They are summoners in Atlas faction.
So guys, what can I say? What do? They do everything. They increase critical rate, they increase critical damage, they increase attack, they have some defense and attack speed. And of course, guys, again, I think that I have to explain myself. Why there's another triple S hero on the free-to-play list. Again, this hero is being sold as a king's gift when you pass Crimson Abyss and you get him for gems. So basically, again, I have to say it again and again, this is a free-to-play hero. So guys, if you happen to pass the Crimson Abyss level that grants him, don't forget to purchase him because he will definitely boost your summoner team 100%. What do you think?
I agree, absolutely.
Okay, let's go on the next one. So guys, the next one is Taylor. He is a hunter from the Wenfir faction. He has increased critical rate, increased critical damage, increased attack, and basically he is the best hunter hero that there is as a free-to-play. Hands down, guys, hands off. I'm using him on my hunter team till now and I'm spending in the game. Imagine how valuable he is. He brings, sometimes he even out damages triple S hunters for fun. I really love this tiger and of course, how can you not love a tiger that it's called Taylor? Guys, Eternal Evolution team, I really like the names in this game. I mean, how many times have we laughed when we have seen those names? Tell me.
Absolutely. So
Taylor, how the hell did you think about this name?
the mustache.
Okay, anyway, let's go on the next. If you have Taylor, don't forget, build him, take him up on the last evolution level. He will pay you out for that. Trust me. Let's go next.
Another triple S hero from Terran faction and assassin Helentis.
So guys, what basically Helentis does. She increases her own damage. Also, she cheats death. When she is about to receive a fatal hit, she will stay back and revive herself at almost full HP. Also, each time she uses teleportation, she will have a damage reduction spell. So guys, she is not that great as a Triple S champion, but for a free-to-play player, she is a gem. Use her. She can be obtained from the Hell Arena shop free to play, so just participate on the Hell Arena and eventually you will be able to have her in your team.
Rez, another Triple S hero from the Terran faction, and he's a support.
So guys, you get Rez via the Galactic Arena shop. What he can do? He restores HP, he restores energy, he reduces the enemy's HP, he charges into the battle becoming immune to damage and to debuffs, and he applies some damage again on the enemy team. Also, he's increasing the attack speed of one of your champions. So guys, what's very good with Rez is, he is a Triple S champion. We get him just for participating and playing, of course, in Galactic Arena. And slowly, as you advance through the game, you can even get his Soul Crystal Nucleus to awaken this champion. So what's better than, as a free-to-play, having a Triple S champion that can be awakened without spending a dime? Just tell me guys, this is amazing, and of course we have to thank the Eternal Evolution team about that, because rarely you see in games heroes that are very impactful to be given to you free. So let's go on the next one now.
Let's go. Last hero from the A section is Aniruda, a support hero from Atlas faction.
So guys, about Aniruda, you just get him from using recruitment cards. So I know that he has a very small percentage of coming in your team, but
I have him already 3 times.
she is a free-to-play player and she already has 3 copies of him. So he is very easy to be obtained. What does he do? He applies damage per second on the enemy team with a big probability of the black hole that he applies in the center of the map stuns the enemy. Again, damage per second champion that corrupts the enemy, and based on his accuracy, he applies more and more damage on the enemy team. He's not really the best support that there is in the game, of course, but he is given to us just by using the recruitment cards. What do you say?
I believe he deserves to be on the last spot of A section.
Yeah guys, I was in between if he was on the first spot on the B section or in the last spot in the A section, but we came into a conclusion and we said, to hell with it, he is a Triple S champion, he has a force displacement, so why not be on the last spot on the A section? Now let's go on the final, the last but not least, the S section of this champion free-to-play tier list.
So just for this section, the S section of this tier list, we will begin from the last champion till the first.
So guys, we start with Vegnus. He is a tank from the Atlas faction and he is an amazing tank. As I already told you about 10 times, I spend a lot of money in the game and I have him maxed, and I even use him over some Triple S other tanks that I have, so that says a lot for a free-to-play non-Triple S character. So guys, he has amazing damage reduction. You can just add him in the front line, and when he is paired with energy heroes, he will have even greater damage reduction. So basically, you just use him on the PvE section. Unfortunately, he's not good enough to be in PvP. In mid-game and up. Of course, if you are in the start of the game, in the beginning of the game, you can use him even in PvP. Guys, for me, Vegnus is the best non-Triple S free-to-play character that there is in the game. What do you say?
I absolutely agree. I am free to play and I use him also in PvP, and he has amazing survivability.
Okay, cool. Let's go on the next one now.
Next we have Ravenna, a Triple S energy hero from the Terran faction.
So guys, the way to get her is via the King's Gift, of course, so you can spend gems and get her after you pass a specific level on the Crimson Abyss. Again, that's called free to play. So guys, where can you use her? You can use her on Chinsaro Mars, you can use her on Crimson Road, and of course every single place that you have multiple enemies, she will shine because she has great AoE damage. I believe that she must be one of the best energy heroes in the game. We are not that seasoned players to understand the high-end game of this game, of course, but I believe that when she is awakened on her A7 form, she is one of the best energy heroes in the game, hands down. Ravenna for me is the best free-to-play hero that we get from this game for free. So let's go on the next now.
Serena. She is a support hero from Terran faction.
Guys, when you hear the name Serena, you just think of one thing. Heals. She heals, and she heals. That's the only thing that she does, but she does it very well. If you see, we have her even higher than Ravenna on our tier list, and that's because I believe that she is amazing. She is one of the best free-to-play champions in the game, hands down. And of course, when it comes to Hyper Evolution, she is one of the best champions to Hyper Evolve from the non-Triple S heroes, of course, right? Also, she has a very, very interesting skin. I believe that the guys will agree with me. So, she is one of the best champions in the game. So guys, all this time that you are looking on the tier list, I am sure that you are confused on the top 3 heroes here that we have. It's Dominic, it's Zaxity, and Anpu. Why do we have those characters here? Why do we have those heroes here? Because guys, when you play this game, you will be able to get limited recruitment cards 100%. I believe that the first 2 weeks you will get around 100 limited recruitment cards. So what does this mean? This means that you can choose to get a copy of a character that is not free to play. So if you want, let's say for example, you can get Dominic. Dominic is the best assassin on this game. He comes from the Terran faction and he will rock your world when it comes to assassins. He has amazing damage output, and of course after you get him on a high evolution state, he has some survivability too. So the last 3 picks that we have picked here for you on the tier list are not free to play characters. They are Triple S characters that you can get only from recruitment cards, but because you will get enough limited recruitment cards, we personally believe that those 3 heroes are the best way to go. So you will be able, I believe, to get 2 copies and raise them with gene hybrids. So if you want, you can go for a summoner team and let's say go for Zaxity and Anpu. Those 2 together will destroy everything, every content on this game. Even content that you will not require to play with summoners, Anpu and Zaxity will just go straight through it and will destroy it all. And for Dominic, if you want, of course, to focus on the end game, get him early in the game, slowly use some gene hybrids on him, evolve him, and in the end, just you will see what kind of damage you will get with Dominic. So, we just agreed that these 3 champions are the most important champions that a free-to-play player should pick from the limited recruitment cards. So what do you have to say about Zaxity or Ampu, let's say?
Yeah, my main team is summoners. I have Zaxity and Anpu always on the top of the damage, the top. They are amazing. I only had 2 copies, but I'm free to play, so...
Also guys, Zaxity has some survivability too, and Ampu, of course, Anpu will shine the most when he goes EX30. It's when the corpse will explode for any summoner, so when you will pair him with the summoner teams, you will see that the damage will go off the charts, you will go like crazy. So guys, this is not an official tier list, this is just fan made by me and my wife. We are not the best seasoned veterans that you can see in this game, but we have studied and we have learned a lot, and also I have asked a lot of veteran players. So we would definitely want to hear from you. If you want, leave a comment down below and tell us, what did we do wrong? What is your opinion? Do you think that some other champion should replace Dominic, Zaxity and Anpu as a Triple S choice for a free-to-play character? Maybe someone has different optics and a different vision when it comes on the tier list. So maybe you think that Serena is not good enough for S tier. Just comment and advise us. We would really like to engage with you in the comment section.
So guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope that you really liked the video.
Yeah guys, we hope that you are okay both mentally and physically because they are of equal importance. I hope to see you on my next video. Bye bye.